Hello, fellas and ladies. It is time to review another musical biopic. Wow. This one's called Back to Black, and it sucks. This one is about Amy Winehouse, and occasionally it's about her music, but also it's about how she smoked a lot of drug, and also she had a man who she loved, and sometimes he loved her too, but also sometimes he don't. The initial plan for, a joke for this review was I was gonna, before I saw the movie, I had the plan. I assumed that this was going to be another, paint by the numbers musical biopic that's just Bohemian Rhapsody with Amy Winehouse. What I was going to do was get my script for my Bob Marley One Love review and just, tweak some stuff. So it would just be, word for word what I said about that. Because I had a feeling I'd have, similar sentiments as I did with that film. And quite frankly, I'm getting bored of constantly having to say the same things about this subgenre of films. It's becoming, the reviews itself are becoming paint by the numbers. However, I don't, weirdly enough, have that sentiment with this movie. That's not to say the film is unique. It's not. It does go by the numbers a bit, but I wouldn't totally call it, a walk hard. And I don't say that complimentary, by the way. This new trend of bad musical biopics is not great. Between Respect, I Want to Dance with Somebody, Elvis, Bob Marley, One Love, and of course the big one, Bohemian Rhapsody, it feels like the genre is just going in circles. But I'll give those films one thing that Back to Black doesn't, and say for maybe I Want to Dance with Somebody. Those films at least had an inkling of respect for the subject. The filmmakers were fans, they just didn't know how to write the film any other way. Back to Black is not that. And it almost gives attention to that fact. Back to Black is a film that loves to have it both ways. The movie begins and ends with a voiceover of Amy going, "I want to be remembered for my music, for who I really am." And then the movie has the base level care for her music imaginable. The movie speedruns her career at lightning speed. In the blink of an eye, she's just on the side of a bus. Outside of speeding through some of her more popular songs, the movie is just not interested in her music. The movie has a brief, hilariously lazy moment in the beginning where we see her, I struggle to call it a creative process, but creative process, and that's it. That's the only insight we get into her music. On top of that, for a movie that claims twice that the subject wants her life to be about her music, the movie is littered with needle drops, and I may be wrong, I'm not gonna double check, but I am pretty sure that most of the needle drops are not Amy Winehouse songs. I can maybe understand the idea that they wanna, focus on who Amy is instead of, totally focusing on her music, but I'll get to that in a bit. I should first address Marissa Bella, and God bless her soul. She's not bad in this movie. In fact, there is a very grounded and compelling energy to Marissa Bella in this movie. It's just, in terms of being Amy Winehouse, she doesn't really succeed. For one, while there is something commendable about the fact that they, go for real singing here, and that Marissa Bella did in fact sing in this movie. I don't want to be mean, but she's low-key actively making a case for lip syncing. The first time we hear her sing at a family function, I went, oh no. Not that Marissa Bella is a bad singer, but when she's trying to, impersonate Amy Winehouse, a woman with a known voice, and it comes off as a cheap impression, it's noticeably not a great look. Also, when she tries to go for Amy Winehouse's on stage, or even trying to pull it off stage, it's comedically hammy. Okay, so Amy Winehouse's personal life. Since the movie loved to tell us that Amy wanted us to remember her for her music and for who she really is, and the movie said, fuck you and your music, we're gonna remember you for the popular ones, and that's it. Well, how did the movie address who she really is, you might be asking? And I got some shocking news. They did it poorly. To an appallingly disrespectful way. It's not blonde disrespectful per se, but that shouldn't be the bar. Blonde just straight up puppeteered Marilyn Monroe for tragedy porn. Back to Black isn't quite that, but it's also not that. The movie, to the surprise of fucking nobody, puts a lot of emphasis on her addiction problems. And I'm not saying the movie should have ignored it, but the movie just is about that. This movie has three modes: addiction, or boyfriend, or both at once. The movie does put a lot of emphasis on her relationship with Blake Fielder Civil without giving us a concrete reason as to why we are focusing this much on that relationship, besides giving us moments to judge Amy Winehouse. The movie puts a very judgmental light on Amy Winehouse. Yeah, she had addiction problems, but there is a way to show addiction without being judgmental, and this movie isn't interested in that. Two men in Amy Winehouse's life, her father and Blake, are almost entirely presented as the voice of reason. The movie constantly gives us reason to emphasize with Blake with which is, like, theoretically fine. To my knowledge, there isn't much reason to think he was a villain in her life. Problem is, we're asked to sympathize with him at the expense of her. And also, the movie, likes to wag their little fingers at the paparazzi and, tabloid culture, but the movie does what they do. On paper, this movie is a surface-level addiction drama, but the problem is, we all already knew Amy Winehouse had an addiction problem, so all we're doing is propping Amy Winehouse in the limelight to go dance her around and tell us what we knew from the hundreds of tabloids about her. It just basically presents her as a successful fuck-up. The movie doesn't tell us anything we don't famously know, and it does nothing to clean her image, just perpetuate a broken image of her, which kind of, begs the question, why are we watching this? Why couldn't this movie be about her success, like it claims it is? There is a way to make this movie about her successes, but while, simply implying her addiction. Imply what we know. Tell us what we don't. But my guess is that's not why this movie was, made. Probably just some filmmakers spinning the wheel of dead musicians Hollywood hasn't exploited yet, and it landed on Amy Winehouse. And the ending of this movie basically telling us what led to her overdose that killed her, and the implications that the movie wants us to, leave with, it's, borderline fucking evil. Yeah, Back to Black sucks. Marissa Bella tries her best, but the movie has no interest in not just perpetuating what Amy Winehouse's legacy has become, and becomes borderline exploitative in the approach while claiming it's actually about the music the movie gives no shits about. Arguably, the worst musical biopic we've gotten since the Bohemian Rhapsody trend, and I'm giving it a single Winehouse out of 10. If you want a good movie about Amy Winehouse, watch the documentary Amy. It's great. Like, subscribe, share. I can't wait to see how Hollywood exploits my story for a film when I die soon. I hope it has nothing to do with movies or this incredibly successful channel, and it's all about my crippling addiction to Mario Kart Double Dash.